What's up, YouTube? God 4Man221 here. Welcome back to another episode 8 in Season 3 of Company of Heroes 2. We're going to be playing as the Soviets, and I'm going to be using the Soviet Industry Doctrine. I have not used this doctrine in a while. I've seen Nick use it with a lot of success, so I decided I'd hop on and use it. And basically, initially when this doctrine first came out, once you selected it, you immediately had everything switch over, so you really couldn't get your men out. You couldn't get a bunch of conscripts, couldn't capture territory quickly. So now when they rebalanced all the command points for the various points of the doctrine, they shifted it to 3 command points in the Soviet industry, which makes a lot of sense to me. You need to get that manpower out early, because initially we were just waiting. You know, we wouldn't select the Soviet industry just yet until about 5 minutes in or so. So we're playing on the road to Krakow. This is I played on this map a couple times. You know, we had the 3 VPs basically linear down the middle of the map. Then we have a fuel on each side and ammunitions on each side, so it's a pretty balanced map. A little tricky in the middle here. So I'm going to capture this point right here, and I'm going to try to barbed wire off right here. That way I can kind of cut reinforcements. I really want to have a strong position along this area right here. That way I can always hop down to assist Nick if he's getting attacked, or, you know, I can respond to this victory point up here. So you can see I'm finishing off this barbed wire. Now the thing about getting barbed wire really early is nice because the enemy can't, you know, they're going to have to, let's see, actually push it 2 of them in the middle here. What the enemy can do is they can't afford the wire cutters yet, basically. They can't afford the hazardous disposal kit, whatever they call it. Yeah, hazardous removal kit package. So you can see they're pushing really, really fast in the middle here, both of them. They have a lot of pioneers out early. This guy has 2, believe it or not. I'm trying to get my MG in this cover here. And they're setting up really quickly because they're a Maxim. And, you know, when you're close to Maxim, it's very short arc right in the middle. So I'm just forced to fall back here. So it's going very badly for me initially. I just need to retreat this MG. I'm trying to kind of salvage the situation at some point here. So I'm just going to keep pulling back. And then I have another MG coming out, and Nick diverted an MG over here to help me out, which is great. And I just, you know, I just let my MG there stay there. My men seem to be pretty spread out right now, actually, but we are protected from these guys. And yeah, they're doing some work with these pioneers getting around the Maxims. Thankfully, though, I have a second MG out. I'm trying to stabilize my own lines here. Now we have these pioneers right here shooting at us with their MP40s. You know, we have rifles, so we're going to do a lot more damage at long range. Anyway, Nick has stabilized some MGs here. The initial attack was very good. It was very aggressive. It neutralized a lot of the center here. But now we're starting to counter them, and they're actually going to start losing some units here if they're not careful. However, temporarily made them give them some territory up here that I was otherwise protecting, so I got to now reinforce my troops back at base, which I am doing currently, and I've got to push back up and take back this territory. So I'm going to form a new defensive line along this stone wall right here with my MG, and I'm going to push in. And you can see he's using cover of my sandbags. The thing is, it's directional cover, so it's meant to protect my guys from him, so it's not helping him at all here. And then the Maxim's going to start shooting into these guys. You know, they have a flamethrower right now, they're going to be in trouble, because that's not giving them any cover. They should have definitely pulled it onto the lighter cover along this side. So cover is direction. Just keep that in mind when you're playing. I'm going to start pushing on in. And yeah, you can see multiple MG42s in the middle here. I managed to kind of secure this side. I managed to actually kill that sniper. He wasn't expecting me to pursue his sniper there, so I just reopened fire. And snipers have very weak health. So that's 360 manpower down the drain, just gone. And he's already got another one. Shocking. He's brought 2 snipers in this early on. It's really hurting, but he doesn't have a whole lot of infantry. He has 2 pioneers and 1 grenadier squad. So I have my own Max I'm going to bring down here and try to help Nick out. So I'm actually taking shots in the flank of this guy. But yeah, these MG42s, they are definitely shooting. They're getting pinned. They shot a rifle grenade at me here, which is kind of annoying. And the sniper's coming up. Anyway, I've taken this point basically. I now have a mortar out to kind of kind of balance it. Nick also has a mortar out, so we're really doing MGs and mortars right here early on. Keep in mind, I'm one victory. I'm one command point away from getting the Soviet industry, switching all that manpower over. I had to fall back. I was trying to lay down some mines, and I was sure they're just going to rifle grenade me. And he managed to get around the suppression somehow. But I have more troops coming in, and then I also... Yeah, he's going to be forced to pull back here in a sec. It says R negative cover, and they're still momentarily suppressed. He's going to push up with his grenadiers. Now, they do have low health, and they are going against the Maxim, but they're really spawning for the sniper. And I'm going to try to kill a sniper again, but I'm going to be using Hoorah, or Oorah. And that should hopefully... Yeah, he sees I was doing that. I did it a little bit too late there. But I see a bunker right here. I'm like, that's going to be a great target. Still chasing. These guys can move really fast with that. So I'm just going to start capturing some of their points. I'm trying to cut off their fuel. This is the point. You can see on the map here, it would cut off the fuel on that mini-map here. So yeah, you can see this point right here. See how it kind of cuts off that fuel there? So now I've cut off their fuel. Just hit like 8 times. So I'm going to move in, and even though their fuel is cut off, I'm going to capture their fuel for our own needs. You know, I am Soviet industry. I just want to hurt the Wehrmacht as quickly as I can. And my mortar is down, laying some fire onto this bunker right here, because it could be upgraded with a machine gun at any point. And Nick's watching the center here. We haven't had too much pushback. Like, the north isn't too bad. It's interesting the combination of troops they've chosen. They're not going to get some Panzer Grenadiers, but really, the red player using the snipers early on, he's already lost one, and then getting a second one. That is pretty, it's pretty gutsy. So I have a pretty full force at this point. I'm even, because I'm getting all this manpower, I just switched there and got the field hospital. That should heal up some of my men. And you can see a massive force coming up here, and I have to fall back here. This is a no-win situation for me. So I'm just going to withdraw around this side so my men will run this way and not straight through everybody. Okay, so you can see I just switched over. Now I have 47 munitions and 42 fuel. You can see my manpower's been cut in half. But you can see I'm already finishing my mine here. You know, I'm going to start what I finished, obviously. And they're flanking around this side. That was a great flank because my Maxim was positioned poorly there. Could have been positioned much better. But I'm just going to keep my guys right here because I have another Maxim covering its flank there. You can even see that I have an AT out. Let's take a quick look at Nick's doctrine here. You can see Nick went with shock rifle frontline tactics, which gives him an IS-2 and shock troops. And this guy went with the Tiger. He's going to get the Tiger race with the elite troops doctrine and Jaeger infantry. So interesting strategy here that they put their guys in the half track and popped out. That's a pretty good strategy, to be honest, especially they don't have AT out early. But I have AT, and I'd be ready if they did that to me. And I put up some more sandbags. I'm basically defending this victory point and holding the center. You know, I didn't have mines here in case the tank decides to, or I had mines. And I think they got destroyed. No, I think that. Wow, that guy got killed by like something over here. Maybe the shock. No, it wasn't the shock troops. Wow. Nick just lost a squad just like that with the grenade. So now the sniper's down here. I did damage him. You can see I hurt him pretty badly. He's almost dead. But he's still shooting. He's got that Wehr with the scope on it. But I have more machine guns here now. I'm building my lovely battalion command. Now, buildings used to build really fast with the Soviet industry, but they thought that'd be overpowered, so they kind of got rid of it. The way this balances out is you don't really have the manpower to, you know, have a big war of attrition with your infantry. You know, you're really going for the tanks and the munitions. So, I mean, that's how Soviet industry, like, people used to use this all the time, Soviet industry, and now it's really fallen. I haven't seen a lot of people using it pretty much. I've been seeing a lot of the ISU 152s, though. At least from the Soviets. Now, if Nick did the barrage there, you can see they kind of gave up on my side, too. They're kind of focusing more on Nick's side in the center. I don't know why I didn't reinforce those guys, as I have mortars falling in trying to take out that bunker there. But I'm basically ready for any kind of assault. I'm covering, they're going to be in a crosshair. Even if they flank around here, they're still going to be, well, actually, they're not going to be exposed there. Oh, good, he's bringing that to reinforce his guys up here on the front line. They also have their own mortar, which is going to start taking some volleys at me. But look at the map control right now. We control most of this map here. Now, Nick could lay some field caches if he wanted, but it'd only help him because I'm getting, the Soviet industry, I'm getting a lot of, and look how fast. Tanks come out much, much faster to the Soviet industry. And check it out, I got rid of the Roman front armor, the one with the blood on the front of it, because that event's kind of over now, and I really like this classic summer design. It was one of the first designs to the T-34 skins I had when the game first came out, so I like this summer kind of line there. I'm trying to see what's kind of in the center here, and I see there's no way for my my conscience. We got to pull back here. Just as that guy pops out. T-34, he's in trouble. He's not expecting this early on. He's going to pop his men out, and I'm going to simply destroy that half track here, or I try to. He pops out the smoke. Just going to push right through it and continue to finish that off. That's more fuel down the drain for him. And then there's an AT hitting me, unfortunately. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try to. Yeah, I got to pull back now, but I was going to try to take out some of those machine guns, and that bunker's almost dead. It was meant to be a medic bunker. So all I can hope is to get another T-34 soon. I'm saving up my manpower. And they start pushing through the middle. I not only have my tank here, I have the field gun, which I'm laying down light artillery barrage. My men are getting stunned though. We're taking a lot of shots into these guys right here. They're pushing in here, but they're trying to move up their AT, I guess, to take me out, but they're going right into my Maxim here, and their AT should be dead. I think they're trying to get a side shot. And I'm building the awesome repair stations. These are great for 4v4s, actually. Just put a bunch of these around and get your tanks quickly repaired. I'm going to lay down about 2, and they just cost. The repairs generally cost munitions. So that assault was stopped in the center here. This guy looks to be glitched. And yeah, so the AT, I know the AT's been taken out, so I have a second T-34 now. Now, with the Soviet industry, you can either pick to go, if you want to make a lot of T-34s like I did, or you can make a lot of Su-85s, The Su-85s cost a lot more manpower. They're about 440, I think, still. Manpower for those guys. Let's see if I can show you. No, Nick made making T-34s also. You also got to see the map, too. Do you want a tank destroyer on this map? I would almost say that a, T-34s would be better on this map. It's not very wide and open, and there's a lot of areas to be outmaneuvered here, If you have an Su-85 looking up here, you can get flanked easily, so you definitely want the mobility of the tanks. So that guy's just killed his second half track. Now I'm trying to kill this MG here. And I'm going to stay here until it's dead, pretty much. And there it is. And you can see, look at all my engineers just hanging out, getting ready to repair my tanks pretty quickly. And we have basically 2 VPs here. Well, we're about to have 2 VPs again. One thing I've noticed about the Soviets is I love the half track now. Like, I wasn't using it very much, but when it's upgraded with the quad mounts, it is great anti-infantry. I mean, it's 4 50 cals on top of that thing. I think it's 50 cal, not a 30 cal. Yeah, 50 cal, that's what I thought. You can see how quickly we're repaired and ready to go into the fight. Now, the only issue for me is possibly Panzerschrecks, which are what these guys have right here. So I'm deciding to help Nick out. I'm gonna transfer all my forces down, my armor down here to help him out because he seems to be struggling just a little bit. So I figured why not? And now I also have my mortar here, which is now Vet 1. They are repairing this. See, they're repairing quite quickly because they have the their Vet 2. So I see these guys coming. I'm like, oh boy. So we're going to go take out this AT here. Just can't take on all these T-34s. I'm going to see that sniper and try to take him out. He manages to get away here. So unfortunately, I have to turn. I'm going to get panzer struck by one of these guys, I'm sure. And it's probably going to be this tank, so I'm trying to get as many tanks away as I can. So that's unfortunate that I lost my tank there, but, you know, we're so industry, I can afford to get one pretty soon. So that was their kind of major success there. I still have a lot of... Still have my positions here guarding our points with the mortar support. I'm building up another sandbag fighting position. People used to build these everywhere, and you know, when there's a lot of conscripts on the field, now we have the shock troops, and I mean, we had shock troops before, I think. I'm trying to remember in the very beginning if they had shock troops. That was a long time ago. They might have. I remember people loved the guard riflemen. Those were like, people still use them frequently, but not as much as they used to. There's a lot of conscripts. Now, you know, I'm just going to say, the Soviets always win the mortar wars. Usually, especially when they get that one, they have precision strike. They can basically do that. You know, I'm basically landing right on his mortar every time, pretty much, with that veteran Z. And you can see his mortar's already taken out, if that wasn't bad enough. And now the T-34 is pushing in the middle. I'm going to try to kill this damn sniper. The Scharfschütze. And I'm smart enough to know that, okay, 2 Grenadiers approaching and an AT getting a lot of shots. I need to pull back before I get taken out. And a lot of ATs around here. And they're now pushing in. These guys got around my MG here as I was trying to get my T-34 out. So they're deep behind my lines right here. I'm in a little bit of trouble here. Luckily, I have multiple T-34s. And I have a lot of conscripts, and they did just get suppressed there, so they're in trouble. They're throwing a bundle grenade. Now, I can't exactly afford to replace my MGs with the manpower. So that's really bad at this point. And they have a lot of ATs up here, so I can't exactly charge in my tanks. Now, you gotta realize, sometimes if you take a Panzerfaust, it's not the worst thing in the world for your tank. I mean, it's really about doing the damage to the opponent, so... The problem is he's reinforcing again off of this. I mean, I'm wondering how much fuel... This guy doesn't have a whole lot of fuel. Maybe because I destroyed 3 of these. And this guy has a decent amount. I mean, he's going for the heavy Panzer Corps. Maybe a Panther. Yeah, I just need some more infantry, basically. Did I lose someone? I could also get right now a KV-8. But you know what I'm saving up for? I'm going to save up for the KV-2 heavy assault tank. This thing is amazing. It is great against infantry. It is very deadly to tanks. The problem is it has a little bit of a slow reload time and it's not very maneuverable. But you can lock it down so it can kind of like, it's more like a, it could be offensive definitely. We saw that in the City 17, I believe it was episode 7. Interesting, they're laying smoke here. We saw it in episode 7 where Nick had one of those with Soviet industry. You can get a lot of tanks. And like I said, you know, I'm like in the half track, so I got a quad mount now. When the quad mount's on it, it cannot transport troops. So you got to keep that in mind. It is a cost. Now, if I go forward, though, I got to be careful because I don't know where those ATs are. They're really using those stun grenades quite effectively. I'm launching mortar rounds at these guys. They're launching them back at me, it seems like, and then they decide to move. So it's kind of funny. I was going against the red player initially, and now the purple player, the purple player is going against me now. So I'm shifting my tanks. So Nick needs a little bit of help down here, I think, or I'm just gonna flank through the middle. Actually, I see the middle victory point falling, and I'm like, they probably don't have anything to stop me there. So I'm gonna take out that infantry unit. Now I'm gonna flank around. Try to destroy that medic bunker. Now I start shooting right into these guys. They're in negative cover here. And I know he's probably moving up his AT, which he was doing right there. He expected me to like run right into him. His position is interesting. Could be overrun. If I take out that AT, I can push him with my T-34s, basically. I mean, all I need to do is take out that AT, because, I mean, I could probably take out those units right here, so I'm just going to see what they have. My tanks have kind of maneuvered back around. They're getting repaired. I'm trying to force back this AT. I'm trying to take back this point because I don't think we only have one victory point right now. They're taking the middle again. And I do see there's an AT right there. And now he has 2 Shreks with these guys. So he has 2 Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks. I'm going to push up. Try to take out that AT. But ultimately, I have to fall back because I see all those Shreks. There's really nothing I have but 1 MG to stop all these guys from advancing. But thankfully, Nick is coming in clutch with the incendiary artillery barrage coming in. Just start burning those guys alive, and then you can see the quad just, yeah, he's forced to retreat there, so. This guy's getting repaired. And yeah, he's forced to fall back. These guys are on fire, basically. And I killed their medic bunker. That was a very, I think initially I wanted it to be, back here earlier, I think I wanted it to be a MG bunker. Not necessarily a medic bunker. You want to put a medic bunker like behind a house or something. You don't want necessarily right in the middle. So I see Nick pushing up, and I'm like, okay, time for me to go too. He's destroying that half track again, so they can't reinforce. Keep that in mind. And the quad's focusing on that AT. And I'm moving in too. We're gonna make sure we kill that AT. So they've been shattered on this side basically. All their troops are back at base. They're trying to move back up, and he's lost his quad. He's lost his half track. And with Veterans I can secure mode, so I can basically neutralize a point here. But they can't fire obviously when they're doing that. So I have troops moving up, multiple conscript squads. Now I'm gonna KV2, and I'm just saving up my manpower for it. And one thing I like to do a lot is to basically kill the ATs that are left behind, so they have to make a whole new one. And Nick is doing a decent job holding it. They've taken a lot of casualties, you can see. And they really need some tanks. Like a Panther would be excellent, but he got a Panzerwerfer, so with the 2 snipers so early on, and I'm destroying machine guns too. With the 2 snipers so early on, in my opinion, and then with the Panzerwerfer, I'm really questioning why he hasn't gotten a tank in 22 minutes when, we both have tanks, and his ally can't do it all alone. His ally's what's saving him for it. The Tiger Ace. See how close he is to that. He's 13 and needs 15, and he just needs the manpower. He has plenty of fuel. With the IS-2, one of my, Joseph Stalin tank, one of my favorite Soviet heavy armors. Pretty much like all the Soviet heavy armor. Once he fires, those guys are basically in trouble. He also has a Dushka on top. And they hit his engine there, so he's in trouble. But they do have a Vet-2 AT right there. So now we have all their fuel, basically. I'm building up more trenches than I want. And then I go to myself, say to myself, hey, this is a new front line right along here. Why am I deployed all the way back here? I'm not going to just cede territory. So while Nick is dealing with the, not really, I want to call, well, it's a little bit of a blob right now, but he's just maneuvering in tight areas right there. I will be getting an IS-2 soon. I mean a KV-2 I have out on the field right now. And you see what I was talking about earlier? It has its fire mode, or firing position, where it basically increases its reload and fire rate, but it can't move, so. I mean, this is not the most beautiful looking tank, but it is very deadly. You gotta be a little scared of it too. So I'm moving on my forward positions here. I even put down a demo charge. I put it on the side that the enemy will probably be coming onto. I don't think it'd be on this side. It'd be closest to them. And I can detonate that whenever I want in case I try to take back that fuel. We have all 3 victory points right now. And Nick is reinforcing at the front, literally. His men are almost dead, though. Very veteran grenadiers here. And he is really grouped up. They had a Stuka, Sufus, when they can't because they're OKW. And look at this. He dropped off some troops here, and they just got obliterated, basically. So I'm taking this one, cutting off further. Even if they had the field, cut it off completely. So he's going to move up with his troops here. Going to try to take out some of my tanks here. And I say good luck, this is a KV2, and if you're grouped up like that near a house, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So you can see they're kind of single file near that house right there. My gunner sees them. And you can see all those dead guys right there. Guys caught on fire. And they say good game at this point. So yeah, that's the match basically. They saved up too far for the I guess it was he could get the Tiger, so he didn't have the manpower for it. But his ally, like, the snipers were a little questionable decision in the beginning. When you're going against Soviet industry, it's really important to remember they're low on manpower. You can see he's only getting 100 manpower per minute, so they're really, I mean, you just need to get a lot of ATs and try to keep your armor force alive because they're probably gonna have more tanks than you. Now, I could have made I had plenty. I could have made a lot more T-34s and stuff, but I just felt like I was comfortable with this command force. So, I mean, Road to Crack is a little bit of a difficult map, but you got to really kind of lock down which VP you want to go after. Usually the middle, for their position, you want to go after the middle VP and usually this VP up north here because, you know, that's where your fuel is. You want to protect that. Once they lost their fuel, they were in deep trouble. And, you know, they didn't make any tanks at all this match. That really hurt them with our heavy armor. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. COD4Man221 signing off. I'll see you in the next episode.